Hypertensive agents. So part 1 already completed, alpha 2 receptor stimulants. So now I would like to explain next classification, that is adrenergic neuron blocker guanidine and bretylium, and catecholamine depleter reserpine. Guanidine is selectively uptaken into the sympathetic nerves and replaces the noradrenaline from its storage. In the same way, Rauwolfia serpentine root extract also depletes the storage of all catecholamines like dihydroxytryptamine, noradrenaline. It leads to depletion of neurotransmitter in the storage vesicles. So this lead to the low release of noradrenaline. This lead to reduction of BP. This will takes place on long term application. And next one is pharmacokinetics normal, and next one is pharmacological action. It will causes hypotension, sedation, depression. Sedation and depression is due to the low level of 5-hydroxytryptamine, and Parkinson's due to depletion of dopamine. And coming to the adverse drug reactions, above adverse drug reaction with diarrhea, increasing salivation, increasing gastric acid production, and next one is gynecomastia and impotence are the symptoms. Coming to the alpha blockers, so here alpha receptors are present in blood vessels, smooth muscles of bladder, and as well as in the prostate gland. Other smooth muscles in eye as well as GIT, urinary system, it is present. So the reactions are present in these sphere. So they are classified into non-selective alpha blocker, selective alpha blocker. Non-selective alpha blocker are penoxybenzoamine. So upon metabolism, it is divided. It is converted into ethylene ammonium ion. So then it irreversibly inhibits the alpha receptor. Not only alpha receptor, it also blocks muscarinic receptor, 5-hydroxytryptamine receptor. Thereby produces their related adverse effects. Coming to selective alpha blocker pentolamine, it blocks both alpha 1 alpha 2 receptor. Prazosin, it will specifically blocks alpha 1 receptor. That's why it is useful in treatment of benign prostatic hyperplasia. It is specific for the particular tissue of urinary system. It will facilitate the easy urine flow. Coming to the mechanism of action, competitively blocks in case of selective alpha blocker. In case of non-selective, they irreversibly blocks the alpha receptor. Likewise, you can write the mechanism of action. Coming to pharmacokinetics are normal. Pharmacological actions, activity on cardiovascular system, it will produce hypotension. It also stimulates baroreceptors. So due to this, heart rate increases, cardiac output increases upon eye. So it will causes meiosis, and in GIT increase histamine release as well as gastrin secretion. And the urinary system, it relaxes bladder walls, so as well as relaxes prostate gland. It will facilitate urine outflow. So another action is lacrimal secretion and salivary secretion also improved. And next one is adverse drug reactions are postural hypotension, tachycardia, nasal congestion. Here nasal congestion means the blood vessels in the nose are dilated. This lead to increasing nasal secretion. This lead to the nasal congestion. Drug interactions, when it is given with adrenaline, it will produce tachycardia and hypotension due to Dale's vasomotor reversal. Contraindication, mainly contraindicated in urinary incontinence, congestive heart failure, shock, renal damage with contraindicated because it will produces severe hypotension due to Dale's vasomotor reversal phenomena, mainly used in chromocytoma, preoperative surgery, urinary retention. But prazosin useful in treatment of benign prostatic hyperplasia. So this is the structure of pheochromocytoma, where we will observe the tumor of adrenal gland. It will produce excess amount of adrenaline as well as adrenaline and aldosterone. Beta blockers. Before going to know about beta blocker, they are present. Beta receptors are three types are there. 1, 2, 3. Beta 1 present in the heart and kidneys. 3 will be present in the adipose tissue. Beta 2 receptors are present in bronchial smooth muscle, that is bronchi and bronchioles, and it also present in smooth muscles of eye. It is responsible for the formation and passage of aqueous humor. It also present in these receptors also present in some other areas which are responsible for the other actions of pharmacological activities. Coming to mechanism of action, it reduces because beta 1 blockage reduces renin activity, heart rate reduces, heart workload reduces. Same way cardiac output also reduces. Pharmacokinetic for all these drugs are normal, but propranolol it undergo first pass metabolism, remaining are same. And pharmacological action in angina, it reduces workload as well as the oxygen demand by the heart due to its negative inotropic effect as well as chronotropic effect. Coming to arrhythmias, it reduces pace 4 of SA node and ectopic pacemaker activity will be reduced. And next one is in kidney, because beta 1 blockage, it reduces renin release, it inhibits renin angiotensin aldosterone system, thereby it will reduce the blood volume and edema. In respiratory system, due to blockage of beta 2 receptor, it will causes difficulty in respiration in asthmatic patient but not in normal person. In case of CNS, so propranolol is highly lipophilic, it can cross blood-brain barrier, it will cause depression in CNS as well as reduce the anxiety. In eye, it reduces the aqueous humor and reduces the intraocular pressure. That's why it is useful in treatment of glaucoma, especially timolol. Timolol is useful in treatment of glaucoma. And next one is metabolism. So overall, it enhances the LDL level, reduces the HDL level. That is good cholesterol reduces. It is also having membrane stabilizing property. It also causes inhibition of platelet aggregation and reduced portal vein hypertension in case of liver cirrhosis. Adverse drug reaction, it will causes muscular aches and asthma, bradycardia, anorexia, cold extremities. Cold extremities is very peculiar adverse effects for propranolol, and drug interaction barbiturates and carbamazepine enhances the metabolism by inducing liver enzymes. H2 receptor blockers like cimetidine and some of the antipsychotics, they reduce the metabolism, increases the availability, and contraindication in asthma, congestive heart failure, Raynaud's disease, mainly used in treatment of hypertension, angina, arrhythmias, migraine, tremor, and anxiety. So non-selective one already know, propranolol. Selective one is atenolol, metoprolol. They are cardio-selective, atenolol, metoprolol. And coming to the calcium channel blocker, nifedipine, amlodipine, and minoxidil diltiazem. Here diltiazem mainly acts on heart compared to the remaining drugs. Calcium channels are two types are there, L type of calcium channels and as well as T type of calcium channels. L type of calcium channels are present in the heart as well as blood vessel, and T type of calcium channels are present in the brain. So these channel blockers, they specifically act on either blood vessel or maybe more activity on heart. So in case of diltiazem, it is having more activity on heart. In case of nifedipine, it will have more activity on blood vessel. Coming to mechanism of action, they completely blocks the calcium channels. Simply, so due to this reduced smooth muscle tone, this lead to reduced peripheral resistance, reduced rate of phase 4 depolarization. So due to this increasing refractory period, increasing conduction velocity of the cardiac tissue. And coming to pharmacokinetics are normal. Pharmacological action, activity on vascular smooth muscle, it will cause arterial dilation, dilates coronary artery, that's why it is useful in treatment of angina, and reduces their spasm. And activity on cardiac muscles, it will causes negative chronotropic effect by depressing SA node, negative inotropic effect due to this force of contraction reduces, that means workload and oxygen consumption reduces, that's why it is also useful in treatment of angina. Donotropic effect, increasing conduction velocity by increasing refractory period of the AV conduction velocity will be increases, so this will reduces re-entrant excitement. So that's why it is useful in treatment of cardiac arrhythmias. Adverse drug reactions are flushing, hypotension, bradycardia, palpitations, constipation and congestive heart failure. Drug interactions, so when it is given with the enzyme inducers, it will or with beta blockers, it will causes cardiac arrest due to AV blockage. Cimetidine, as it is inhibit the metabolism, reduce the metabolism, increases plasma availability. When it is giving with digitalis plasma level increases. Contraindication CHF used in hypertension, angina, cardiac arrhythmias, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, treatment of premature labor. So our next classification, arterial vasodilator potassium channel activator, that is hydrogen. Their mechanism of action is they activate ATP sensitive potassium channels on vascular smooth muscle. This will causes leakage of potassium from the intracellular surface to extracellular fluid. So this will cause hyperpolarization of the cell. This leads to the reduced smooth muscle tone. This leads to the reduced peripheral resistance. Pharmacokinetics are normal pharmacological action. It will cause arterial vasodilatation. This lead to the baroreceptor stimulation. This leads to the reflex tachycardia. So it will activate the renin release. Due to renin release, fluid retention takes place. That's why they should be given along with beta blockers to treat tachycardia. To treat fluid retention, they should be given with diuretics. It also inhibits the insulin release. Adverse reactions are hyperglycemia, flushing, hypotension, tachycardia, palpitation, fluid retention, constipation. Drug interactions are reduced efficiency of the sulfonylureas because sulfonylureas mechanisms are stimulation of insulin release. So it reduces the efficiency of the sulfonylureas in diabetes. And next one is contraindication diabetes, gout, angina, myocardial infarction, mainly used in emergency, hypertension, hypoglycemia, insulinemia. Here minoxidil. Another example of this classification is minoxidil. It is topically active. When it is applied on the topical area, it improves the blood circulation by relaxing the blood vessels in the skin layer. So by improving blood circulation, those areas skin containing hair follicles will be stimulated. So it will facilitate the easy grow of hair. So next part I will explain you upcoming parts.